We all know that having life insurance is important, but many people see it and then forget about it. And that can be a mistake. So how can we tell when we need to revisit our policy to make sure we have protection that reflects our lifestyle and reality?
All right, TMS money expert Rubina Ahmed-Haq is here with some advice for us this morning. Rubina, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's be honest. Life insurance, not exactly always top of mind, I think, for a lot of people. And we really only think about it when certain things happen in our lives.
Absolutely. So we usually think about life insurance when we know that somebody is relying on us. So it could be our children, it could be our spouse, it could be a relative that lives with you, that you care for, that relies on your salary. So it's important to always think about life insurance, but especially when you've got dependents, where if you weren't there and your salary wasn't there, how would they support themselves financially, at least for the beginning parts where they're dealing with the fact that they've lost you? You want to make sure that they're covered and that they can cover expenses that are left behind when you pass away.
We just had these conversations at home. Okay, let's talk about the dangers of setting and forgetting.
Yes. So oftentimes we'll get life insurance when we're younger, and then we are paying our life insurance policy and premiums rather. And then when our life changes, we don't actually look at what our life insurance covers and look at whether we should add any more coverage on. So if you have kids, or again, if you have somebody, a relative move in that needs your support, your life insurance policy may not be adequate for that situation. So you want to, just like anything else when it comes to your finances, yes, setting it and forgetting it is an easy way to do it, but you want to be looking at it, making sure that you know exactly what your beneficiaries would get, that the beneficiary is the person that you want to get the payout if something was to happen, and that if you need to add any coverage on, that you can speak to someone at the company to make sure that that coverage is possible for you to do.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, because some people might realize, you know what, I do need more coverage, but might be thinking as well that, I'm getting on in years. Am I too old to afford a new or updated life insurance policy?
And this is something that happens all the time. So we may not have gotten life insurance when we were younger, and we think the premiums are just going to be too expensive. It's not something I'm going to think about now. There are several companies out there that can help you, even in your 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to 80. Seniors Choice is one of those companies where you can get coverage up to $250,000, and that money would be paid out to your beneficiary. It's tax-free, and it also often comes quicker than assets that would be sold if you passed away. And sometimes that can be more complicated. This money can come much quicker. So help with funeral costs, help with debts that might be unpaid, and just even help with just finances in a year where you're dealing with grief.
Okay. All right. For anyone watching at home right now, maybe they already have a policy. We've touched upon this, but what are your final words of advice with regards to whether they should go right now and revisit that policy and take a look at it? How do they know if it is time?
Yeah, so I think that if you have a big life change, you want to talk to your insurance provider and say, what kind of coverage do I have, and does that reflect my lifestyle today? And if it doesn't, you can add on more coverage, and that's something they'll tell you about, how your premiums would change and what that would cost. And you want to make sure that you're working with a company that you trust. You can go to Trustpilot and put in, depending on your situation, an insurance company that really is going to reflect your values and what really works for you. And you want to also make sure that, especially if you have a marriage breakdown or a breakdown of your relationship, that the beneficiary on that policy changes to your new partner. There has been cases where people have passed away, and then realize that it's actually the ex-spouse that's still the beneficiary, because they never went in and changed that name.
All right. Well, some important steps and advice from Rubina Ahmed-Haq this morning. Rubina, appreciate it as always. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by Seniors Choice. To learn more, call 1-844-997-1011.